What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with a birthday reading for Rkelly. Rkelly was born Robert Sylvester Kelly on January 8th, 1967 in Chicago, Illinois. He is a singer, songwriter. Rkelly has enjoyed tremendous success on both the pop and R&B music charts. He has also made headlines with his legal woes. Rkelly grew up in a Chicago housing project where he was raised by his single mother and began singing in his church's choir as a young child. Okay, so let's get to Rkelly's strengths. According to the book, it says that Rkelly is self-confident. What do we know about self-confident people? That means that they are very trusting in their abilities. And in his case, he was very trusting in his musical abilities to write songs, to produce hits, to help other artists, okay? The next strength that Rkelly has is he's very influential. And what do we know about influential people? A person that's influential is a person whose actions and opinions strongly influence the course of events in their lives and others' lives. So that means the brainwashing of the young girls that he was out here sleeping with. Remember, he was promising them fortune and fame. He was also promising their parents fortune and fame. And I was always confused as to why any parent would want Rkelly to help their child succeed in the music business. Yes, he's very successful and popular. We know all of that. We knew all of that back then. But even back then, that man was put out on shout for marrying singer Aaliyah, okay? He married Aaliyah, I believe, when she was 15. They actually had a marriage license that was out there. So this is not hearsay. So I just am very disturbed that so many parents trusted this man with their children. Okay? Another one of Rkelly's strengths is he is intense. That means he has very strong feelings and opinions on different matters. Okay, so the way that I look at him, guys, is like a powerful figure, especially to people that are not on his level. I think a lot of these people were gullible and believed everything that he had to say, okay, which just made matters worse in the end, honey, okay? So let's look at his weaknesses. His weaknesses is he's conceited. When we think about somebody that's conceited, that makes you think of someone that is arrogant, a know-it-all, snotty, vain. His next weakness, I should say, is he is unforgiving. That means he is harsh, he is hostile. He is not willing to excuse people's faults or wrongdoings. Okay, so once you go against him, he's that type to really strike back at you hard. I really see and feel that with him. And that's very interesting that he's unforgiving, but yet he did so much unforgiving shit, you know, to the young ladies he was involved with. And, you know, just people, period, that was in his life. You know, his ex-wife, his children, you know, he done screwed all types of people over. But he's unforgiving. Okay, so next it says his other weakness is he's heavy. When you think of a heavy person, we're not talking about weight. We're talking about someone that is in a sad, miserable state. They are weighed down with grief or sadness. That's probably how he feels right about now. Okay, with all this going on. So we all know that Rkelly was convicted by a federal jury in Brooklyn of all 9 counts of superseding indictment, charging him with racketeering, predicated on criminal conduct, including sexual exploitation of children, forced labor, and Mann Act violations, including and involving the coercion and transportation of women and girls in interstate commerce to engage in illegal sexual activities. Okay, so it says Rkelly was born January 8th. It is the day of the Big Bang. And boy, has it been a bang. It says January 8th people seem fated to make a tremendous impact on life around them. They are not necessarily outgoing or overly demonstrative, but nevertheless lend each of their social or personal meetings an air of importance and convey such a strong sense of their own being that people come away feeling deeply impressed. So what that says to me is when he meets people, they are very impressed with him. And that's probably before they even get to his talent. Okay, he may have a way with words. Whether physical individuals or not, and many born on this day are not impressive in this respect, perhaps even disadvantaged, the solidity of purpose which they communicate is their unmistakable trademark. Not infrequently in their careers, those born on this day explode suddenly on the scene. They seem able to channel every ounce of their energy down to a cellular level into one presentation, performance, or product. Their capacity to concentrate their full energy in limited space or time is symbolic of their way of working, hence the possible big bang of their explosive power. Knowing what they can do and what they can't do means rarely overshooting, idly dreaming or projecting fantasies that have no basis in reality. Others may see them as far out, taking chances that no ordinary person would take. Okay, that means all that shit he was doing with them girls. Okay? And a lot of those people, you guys, that was helping him do that with them underage girls, they ass should be arrested and they should be on their way to the jailhouse too, if you know what I mean. It says, but those born on this day are comfortable with themselves in a variety of situations. I bet you he was. I bet it never clicked in that I need to change my ways. What I'm doing is wrong. I should feel bad. This is somebody's child. That never clicked in. And I believe it never even clicked in after they sentenced him. Okay? Because I'm looking at his weakness. It said he's conceited. Most conceited people are what? Narcissistic. When you think of a narcissistic person, you are thinking of a person that has no empathy for others. That means they could fuck you over in any type of way and you're supposed to bend over and just take it with no Vaseline. All right? It says, typically, January 8th people calmly call into question certain established axiomatic truths which either colleagues on a career level or family and friends on a personal level have always taken for granted. They do so not out of rebelliousness or contrariness, but simply because, having studied the situation carefully, they have come to forceful conclusions. Not all January 8th people are blessed with great talents, but they do have an enormous amount with what they have been given, often driving themselves to the limit, overcoming handicaps, both physical and psychological, is an important theme in their lives. So right there, It says he had, some type of handicap. Now, I was doing some reading, and Rkelly actually blamed his learning disability for losing one of his sexual abuse cases. I guess his defense says that the singer has a learning disability. He couldn't take the appropriate steps to defend himself. Ain't that some bullshit? However, he does not have a learning disability. He is a functional illiterate. Of course he is, because who the hell else can write all them damn songs and do all of what he do? In fact, Kelly has openly spoken about not being able to read, but he has not attributed to having a mental deficit. He even made light about it in an interview, saying that his jump shot was what got him through school. Okay, but he tried to use that shit to get out of one of his sexual abuse cases he found himself in. Now, isn't that interesting? The book also says January 8th people must learn not to drive themselves so hard and to make things a bit lighter for those who can't handle their intense, concentrated energy. And what I'm getting is there may have been some people, guys, that got around him and felt like a weird vibe. Like, don't get me wrong. I think a lot of people probably liked him and was impressed with him. But I believe there was a small group of people, honey, that was like, ooh, something a bit off about homie. Okay? They must also work on being more accepting and forgiving. There's that word, forgiving. We keep seeing it and hearing it. The latter quality particularly important, as many born on this day can fall into a with me, there we go, or against me kind of personal politics. That takes me to those girls. What's their name? Joycelyn and Azriel. Okay. It also says ego traps and conceit can be their undoing. Y'all hear that? Ego traps and conceit. I'm looking at the fame of it all, how popular he is, all the money he's making. Okay? Can be their undoing if they come to think of themselves as godlike while viewing others as ant-like. So that right there lets you know this is somebody that thinks that they are better than everybody. And everybody got to bow down to me. I'm on this godlike level. You saw a lot of his behavior after the Surviving Rkelly series, because I think it still hadn't hit his narcissistic ass. That he was going down the wrong road, the wrong damn road. Remember, he kept trying to get into clubs and shit, and they would deny him. See, he was still feeling himself. And he thought, oh, well, I done got out of these court cases before. I done beat them. You know what I'm saying? I've been getting away with this shit. Like, his mind frame was very ruthless. Okay? When you're dealing with a narcissist, they're very egotistical. They got money, they got fame, they got popularity. Everybody is still, some people were still talking to him. Some people saw the Surviving Rkelly series, stopped playing his music, stopped giving him any type of play or attention, right? We saw that. I want to add this. Rkelly is a Capricorn, and like most of the zodiac signs, every sign has a dark side. The dark side about Capricorn people is they don't really care about stuff until it affects them. Okay, I know some of y'all rolling your eyes, sucking your damn teeth, but that's just the truth. Some of y'all, you don't care about stuff until it impacts you. That takes me back to, y'all remember that interview he had with Gayle King? And he was all calm at first and, this, that, and the third. And she was telling him about how allegedly he had sexually abused all these women, and he was like, oh, it's not true, and those are lies, and I already been tried for these type of things. And I think this is kind of before his whole big trial began, right? So he was just so what is the word, nonchalant, right? Didn't care. She steady naming all the shit that he done did to these young women, right? Young girls. So once they got to him, did you notice how he began acting? This is my fucking life. And, he's crying and acting a fool. And, before that, you didn't, when it was about them young girls, he didn't give a fuck about what he did to them. It was like, oh, they lying, and they just mad I'm not with them, and those are old relationships. The narcissist, honey, is known for their excuses, honey, okay? But yeah, once that shit got to him, once he knew he was going down, okay, like, the song, I'm going down and I'm not gonna be around, baby. Okay, my whole world's upside down. Sleep don't come easy, okay? I apologize, honey, for the vocals, but I tried. But yeah, if you remember that part, that's how the dark side of Capricorn is. They don't give a fuck once it's them. Then when it's like on everybody else, or if they being accused of something, it's like, no, it didn't happen. I don't care. And then now I'm losing money. Now they're not going to be playing my music. Now don't nobody want to work with me. My family has disowned me. My kids don't want shit to do with me. Now I want to cry wolf. Now I want everybody to feel bad about, for me. I want everybody to feel bad about what I'm going through. And I've seen this, you guys, with other Capricorns. That's why I know what I'm talking about, okay? Let's keep moving. Let's get to our numbers and planets. Those born on the 8th of the month are ruled by the number 8 and by the planet Saturn. Since Saturn symbolizes caution, limitation, and fatalism, and because their sign Capricorn is also ruled by Saturn, January 8th people are given powers that can have deep, serious, and lasting effects if they choose to use them. We saw him use his influential powers on the young girls. Okay? And it's been alleged that, he was messing with Aaliyah's mother. When I heard that, I was disgusted. The mother has not really spoken out about that. Like I heard if she does do an interview on Rkelly, she denies everything and is not willing to open up and talk about anything, which is very weird because your daughter married him when she was 15. They actually have the marriage license out there. Okay, so where there's some smoke, there's some fire, and that mother knows something. Aaliyah's mother, you mark my words, she knows more than what she is willing to say. Her own brother, Barry Hankerson, who is Aaliyah's uncle, spoke out on that fact. He said, my sister knows more than, what she's letting the public know. All right. But yeah, it was alleged he was sleeping with the mother, and Aaliyah, I guess, would go to bed, and, him and the mother would get it on the couch. Okay. Y'all let me know if y'all believe that. Do I believe some of that? Yeah. Yeah. I could see some of that. I could see it. And especially now I'm looking at all these other parents that pimp their children out to this man. Like, why the hell would you go to him and you know that it was already out here that he had married Aaliyah at 15. Like, what the hell is going through y'all heads? And he ain't never make any of them girls famous. If they are famous now, it's, you know, it ain't for good reason. We don't know them for their music like that. Yes, he has worked with other artists in the business, but these young girls, which one of them has he made so damn famous and popular? Okay, nobody. He was using his talent to abuse young women, and the parents allowed it. Okay? They was in on it. That's some sick shit. Okay, the book also says those ruled by the number 8 tend to build their careers slowly and carefully. Now, didn't he come out with, I believe he came out with Public Announcement. He was with them first before he became a big solo artist. Please put it down in the comments, guys, if I got that right or wrong. Let me know, but that's how I believe, because I was a big fan of Public Announcement. It says, but January 8th people are more likely to burst suddenly on the scene as if from nowhere. Although they may be warm-hearted, those ruled by the number 8 often appear cool, okay, or detached. And I actually know somebody with this birthday, and that's how they act. I remember I was going through something and the person was like, why are you even sad about that? You shouldn't even care about that. Like, you know, like one of those type of people kind of like talking you out of your feelings, you know, and I'm a Cancer. Shit, I feel everything. Okay, I feel shit that I probably shouldn't feel. But yeah, this Capricorn born on this day was like trying to talk me out of my feelings, and I was so disgusted. Okay, so let's get to the tarot. It says the 8th card of the major arcana is Strength or Courage, which depicts a graceful queen taming a furious lion. The queen symbolizes the female magician who can master rebellious energies and stands for moral as well as physical strength. This card's positive attributes include charisma and determination to succeed. We did see him succeed. Okay? We did with the music. He's a genius. He is, but he's sick. He's perverted. The things that he has did to those young women, it's deplorable and it's disgusting. But he himself was molested as a child. And that is how a lot of that starts, guys. Okay, a lot of times people are not taking advantage of people sexually out of nowhere. I'm not making excuses for it, but a lot of times people are molested as children, and then they end up, when they grow up, they get turned on by molesting people that's young too, because after all, that's what happened to them. Okay, that is what happened to him. Okay, guys, let's look at what the book says as far as the advice that they would give him. It says, don't get carried away with yourself. I'm like, shit, it's too late for that. Deepen bonds of love and empathy with those around you. Be prepared to give and take in an easy manner. Remain open to change. And take some chances. Don't give up your spontaneity for the sake of success. Okay? And the meditation it has for him is, those lost in their own myth can cut a fine figure, but generally make poor human beings. And that's kind of what we see, a poor human being. So, that concludes this birthday reading, guys. Get down in the comments. Let me know how you felt about it. Don't forget, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, Brand New, and I will check you guys out in the next video.